Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. It's your girl, Bama Girl. I'm coming to you this afternoon because the remains that were found in Alabama has been identified and confirmed to be Taylor Rose Williams. I talked about this little girl a couple of weeks ago because her mother, Brianna Williams, had put out that her daughter was missing. And so there was an Amber Alert started. There was a search started for her, and during the search, once the local authorities got involved and Brianna stopped cooperating with them, then that sent up a red flag saying, so what's really going on? So then they started to investigating Brianna. And a couple of days after Brianna stopped cooperating, other um, agencies got involved. Once the FBI got involved, they began actually the search went from Florida to Alabama, where Brianna is from. Now, because they suspected that the girl had taken the baby from state to state, this alerted the FBI, which brought them in and got them involved. Well, a couple of days after the initial Amber Alert went out, they did find the body of a little girl. Well, the body. It was wrapped in a shower curtain, and they couldn't positively identify her. And I says, well, what's going on? Was taking so long? Because mind you, it had been almost 3 weeks since they found the body, and no one had released a statement saying that it had been identified as being this little girl. Well, today the confirmation came, and even though it didn't come until today, we knew then that it was her because number one, the media left Alabama. All of the agencies that were in Demopolis at the time, they left because in their minds, they knew that it was her. But they couldn't say anything until they got, confirmation, which I completely understand. Now, as soon as they found her body, I don't think Brianna really thought this thing through because the only way that they were even able to trace her tracks is because from here to Alabama, she kept turning her cell phone on. They traced the pings from the towers because as it was picking her up on her way up through Alabama. Now, I said, now, there is no way. So you mean to tell me you haven't sat down and watched not one episode of Law and Order, not one episode of NCIS, to know that all of your activities can be traced? Okay. Soon as they found the body, what did she do? Okay, because actually she had come back to Florida. She went to work business as usual. She didn't go AWOL. She went on back to work out on the base. But as soon as she caught wind of them actually finding a body and where they found it, she knew where she put it. So what did she do? Then she wants to attempt suicide. Now, we all know that if someone really wants to kill themselves, they do. No one knows about it. It's done in secret, and they're not found until the deed is done. She went out there on that Navy base, took the pills. They found her. They life-flighted her to a local hospital where they said that they had put her in a chemically induced coma. Okay, 2 days later, now she out of the coma and she talking. But guess what? Now she has a severe case of amnesia. Girl, this selective amnesia, we ain't going, and it's not going to work. I would rather you just go on, admit to what you did, get this thing over and done with. because they got you. You have a court-appointed attorney, which works for the state. You got the prosecution that works for the state. You were done while you were still in this chemically induced coma, because they had already said they were going to charge you with child neglect and lying to the police. Well, anybody knows that those two charges did not warrant a $1.1 million bond. What they were doing was, because they knew that you weren't going to be, nobody was going to go, and they were not going to put their homes up for you for this 1.1 million. Baby, they wasn't going to do it. And they were waiting on these results. I would much rather her go ahead, come forward, confess, plead guilty, and go ahead and get it over with. You know what I'm saying? It's not why sit and say no, not guilty. Now you want people to believe that you have amnesia, girl. See, here's why all this book sense that you have and no common sense. You see, the common sense is what you need right now. The common sense is what you need to lean on right now, because at best you gonna get life, and not just life, but you gonna get natural life, which means you gonna die in prison. But it's better to go ahead and admit to your wrongs. Admit to, if you had help, admit to it. Go ahead and get this monkey off your back, boo, because what you're gonna do is you costing the state a lot of money. You costing the state a hell of a lot of money. They're not even trying to do all that. I hope that you listen to the attorneys, I guess, because you don't remember doing anything. Now you don't remember what happened to the little girl. What are your last accounts? When was the timeline that you remember seeing your daughter? They're going to catch you up. They're going to trip you up. These people do this for a living, and they do it in their sleep. So I'm going to need for you to go ahead, say what you got to say, plead guilty, cut this amnesia bull crap out, and take it from there. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.